Hello, everyone. Excited to have Melissa with us today. We are talking about leading through uncertainty. As leaders, one of the things that is constant is change, whether it's transition in our teams, our leadership, our staff, any myriad of things. And so, Melissa, I'm curious if you could tell us about a time that you had to navigate something with some ambiguity, how you made decisions, how you worked to maintain focus during that challenging time.
Well, it certainly feels that we're leading through a lot of crises and ambiguity these days, doesn't it? I have led through many crises. In fact, I sat down one day and wrote down a bulleted list, and it took up a whole page. So pretty astounding to think that we have that much that we're facing. But I think the first step to navigating ambiguity is to clearly define the problem. Some problems are complex with multiple independent parts. Some of them are interdependent. And if possible, break down those parts so that you can avoid misdirecting. But the really important thing is that after you've defined the problem, let go of focusing on the problem. Instead, concentrate on the ideal outcome and identify all the other possible outcomes or scenarios, as we like to call them. We do scenario planning for those uncertain situations. And ideally, don't problem solve in a vacuum. Ambiguity can be isolating if you go at it alone. The more smart minds and diverse perspectives you can bring together, the better. And finally, and this one is my favorite, avoid striving for perfect. The thing about us humans is that we're imperfect. So why do we expect perfectionism in the heat of an ambiguous crisis? Acknowledge mistakes and course correct. Toxic perfectionism just results in a spiral of ambiguity.
One of the things that we talk a lot about in systems thinking is this real interdependent and interconnected world. And I think that's where you're defining the problem really comes in handy, because sometimes we don't do a good enough job of saying, what is the root cause here that we're dealing with? And so we start trying to solve for symptoms and not solving for problems in themselves. So I love that idea of take a moment and sit down and figure out what the problem is before you try to solve it and bring others to the table. Such a really smart takeaway. Thank you so much for your time today, and everyone will have another playlist out soon.